Hello everyone, welcome to Shorthand Battle. I am Divya and I am going to dictate you a general passage of 1600 words at the speed of 160 words per minute. So get ready for the dictation. 3, 2, 1 and go. I would like to ask the government why the government has not put the provisions of the Plantation Labour Act into operation. Only certain portions of this Plantation Labour Act are now put into operation. What is the objection on the part of the government to put this entire Plantation Labour Act, all its provisions, into operation? If this has been done, certainly some benefits would have been derived by the workers which the government is withholding at present. Particularly, these tea garden owners take advantage of this. They not only exploit the laborers to the maximum extent but also put so many other difficulties in the life of the workers, wage cut, etc. When I say they cut the wages of workers, they effect the cut in wages not by direct cut in wages, but they increase the workload, taking advantage of the position in which the workers are now placed. For example, a certain amount as basic pay is given to the workers, but a far higher amount of work is got from them than what they used to do before. Now they have become bound to do more work. The workers pluck more tea today than they used to do before. Up till very recently, one worker was asked to pluck buds from 250 plants. Now he is asked to pluck from 400 plants. That is how they increase the workload. In certain tea gardens, 60 to 70% workload has been increased. This is generally going on. Government do not take any measures to check that increase in workload. Instead of utilizing this fund, the profits can be controlled. The government should ask the plantation owners to give more amenities such as residential facilities, free education to their children, facilities to plant in fallow lands, etc. Fallow lands are available in certain gardens. These workers should be given the facility to cultivate tapioca and other food materials so that they may meet their daily necessities. The government should ask these plantation owners to increase the wages of the workers and also to increase the wages of those workers who are skilled workers. There is the factory labor inside plantations and there are field workers and there are so many other categories of labor. The government is not doing anything substantial for the workers. Sir, I find that something like 1.5 lakh of rupees have been granted to the Kerala government for welfare work among the plantation labor. So far as our experience goes, we never have the opportunity to come across such activities organized on behalf of the government. I do not know whether there is any such activity elsewhere. On the contrary, there are certain measures taken under the Preventive Detention Act to fight the workers and to pelt stones at the meetings of the workers and also to employ police to lathi charge the workers. That is the sort of the welfare activities they have been doing. But what we demand is that the government should see that the plantation owners are asked to pay higher wages to the workers and to improve their conditions of living. Now there are 1-room tenements, but the workers want 3-room tenements, and they have not so far been provided with such facilities. I understand that the government have got some idea of having modern tenements in the estates, but so far nothing has been done. We suggest that a part of these profits should be utilized for giving educational facilities to the children of the estate laborers. Also, the wages of the workers should be increased and all sorts of facilities should be provided to the estate laborers. That is what I have to say. Mr. Deputy Chairman, I welcome this bill and I am very glad that the Honorable Minister has given the assurance that the increased cess will be utilized mainly for the improvement of the living conditions of the workers in these plantations. But I beg to submit, sir, that the price of tea is rising in English markets, and I suggest that as good businessmen we should realize and our government should realize that if the price goes up beyond a certain limit, the consumption will go down. We should not adopt a narrow policy and allow the price to go up by leaps and bounds. Of course, it does give some profit to the local planters and probably to our government directly or indirectly in the shape of income tax earned from these plantations. But as I said before, this is a short-sighted policy. The result will be that in the long run, if the price of tea goes beyond a certain limit, the consumer will not be able to adjust. I wish to suggest very seriously that if the protection is to be given to any industry, particularly for the first time, the period of protection should be at least 2 years in the first instance, if not 3 years. My reasons for this suggestion are, in the first place, that when protection is given to any industry, it is on the basis of the recommendations of the Tariff Commission. Now, for instance, protection is given to an industry from 1st January 1985 for 1 year for the first time. The industry itself will not be able to know its real position and it will not be able to feel its way. It must be in a position to feel its way. The object of giving protection is to enable the industry concerned to plan for its future production, to find out the possibilities of marketing its product, and also to build itself up to meet the domestic demand as it grows. Unless the industry concerned is able to stimulate the domestic demand, in which case it will have to step up its production, it will not be able to establish itself. So, from this point of view, the industry ought to be given sufficient time to stabilize itself. From another point of view, if the protection is given to an industry is to be continued or to be discontinued, the Tariff Commission will have to sit again and report on the real position of the industry concerned and will have to start its inquiry within a period of, say, 6 months after the protection was given. That seems to me very curious because the industry itself will not be able to know exactly what its position in regard to protection is. I illustrate my point with regard to one of the industries which are listed in this note. Take, for instance, the titanium dioxide industry. This industry started production in the year 1981. It is a new industry and it consumes the essential raw materials available in the country, but it was not able to make much progress from 1981 to 1983. It was because it was not able to make any headway that Tariff Commission recommended protection to it from the end of 1983 or the beginning of 1984 after making due inquiry. Now, the industry is given protection only for 1 year, that is to the end of this year. The Tariff Commission has got to make an inquiry once again. The industry does not know exactly what its real position in the country is. This is a very peculiar kind of industry. It has got to face competition from huge producers in the world market. It is in a position to stabilize itself if given sufficient protection and opportunity. If the industry does not know exactly what its future is going to be, it cannot make any plans either in regard to production or marketing or in regard to the possibilities of stimulating the demand for the product. So, I suggest that when protection is given to any industry for the first time, it must be at least for a period of 3 years so that it may know exactly whether it can stimulate demand and whether it can produce sufficient quantity to meet the local demand. Otherwise, the industry will not be able to stabilize itself. Sir, there is another point of view also. It is seen from the note supplied to us that in the case of several industries, protection has been given altogether for a period of say 4 or 5 or 6 years, not at one stretch but in installments. The effect of giving protection to an industry in installments, say for a year, is not the same as the cumulative effect of protection given to an industry for a continuous period of 3 years. If it is given for say 3 years at a stretch, it will not be able to make its program for the future regarding production, etc. I seriously suggest that, though as a matter of fact in the case of several industries protection has been given for a long period in installment, the protection ought to be given in the first instance at least for a period of 3 years. Otherwise, as in the case of this titanium dioxide industry, it will not be able, I am sure, to meet competition from outside, and it will not be able to stand on its own feet if it is given protection only for 1 year. So, I suggest very seriously that protection given to any industry ought to be in the first instance at least for a period of 3 years. Stop.